Okay, everybody. Now, in this subject of Bardo of dying, let me offer some suggestion as to how one can be helpful for those who are transitioning. As much as important living this life, at the transitioning, even very, very important moment, period in human's life. So, as one obtain the precious human life and transitioning time also with dignity seems to be very, very important. So I want to share you some of my thoughts. First, let me begin with telling you one of a good scenario that happened in Buddhist countries. Here has to do with Tibetan community. That again, in the best scenario, things unfold like this. Oneself as a not necessarily totally dedicated practitioners, but still devoted to Dharma. When he or she is at a young age, teenage and as an adult, having kids, lots of things to do, not easy. One have responsibilities, they have to raise up kids, need money, drive the good car or whatever. All these things, some are necessary, some are not that necessary, but anyway, engage in some sharing activities. And as age, now kids are grown up, raise them up well. Now kids have their own responsibilities, their own lives. So at this time, these people who are devoted to Dharma, they retire, put the responsibilities to their kids. And now, in a best scenario, they move to a temple, near lamas, near monasteries in their old age. And this is something very wonderful. I truly admire, this way of life. Here, in advanced age, that one could not make money as much as one used to, work hard, simply this physically, everything has limitation and it's coming its own limitations. limited capacities. Now to this advanced age, these devoted to Dharma people do not feel that they are useless, just simply because they cannot make money anymore. But rather, these people feel that now the real work, meaning a purpose to this life, real work is now begins. That is, your practice, Dharma, your spiritual practice. Now real work begins. That's wonderful. They already have been there, done that, they're enough of it. Now, sincerely, 100% dedicate their lives for the practice of Buddha Dharma. Wonderful things happen. So I wish things happens like that around, many countries. Okay, so now in this, let's say in their temple, their monasteries, when these people experience the Bardo of dying, so we take care of. How we take care of? Actually, see, these people or practitioners, basically, full lifetime practitioners, when Bardo of dying comes, they are ready for it. In some cases, they are quite happy with it because life has been quite challenging time. Somehow, they know that death means now the great opportunity to be enlightened, the best possibility is looming. So they are very much ready to go for it. There's no really sadness, painful part of dying is not there. At least what we say in general teaching is that one should not have any regret. Looking back to life and thinking, oh, I should have done that, could have done that, would have, all those, nothing there. This practitioner is very much ready to live. No regret. In fact, looking back to life, how she or he passed his or her life was a great journey. Met great people. Together accumulate so much merit. Encounter the great masters, receive great teachings, had the great opportunity to practice Dharma. What a life, wonderful life lived. Now to this end, one ready to enter to this transition and ready to awakening to this. When the ground of luminosity dawns at the end of inner dissolutions, they are ready for awakening to the Dharmakaya states. Something very different than regular people. Very different. At the same time, I should also say that as a real practitioners, we say that some kind of worry, what will happen after my death? Who will take care of my body? Those are very much unnecessary. Everything is right now. Bardo of this lifetime is most important. After transitioning, this physical body turning into, just another element, external elements, nothing. So as a practitioners, nothing really hoping for who would be there when I'm transitioning, what will happen after this, my remainings. So those are very much unnecessary things to think about. As a practitioner, want to know, should not have any hopes. Everything is right now. This moment is the most important moment. There's a general instruction that I just want to share. So now, back to this devoted Dharma, regular Dharma people who are passing. Sometime surrounded by loving family. In the midst of everybody, this practitioner or this devoted Dharma person pass away. Some cases, the rest of the family, kids, sons and daughters, they are regular people. They have attachment. They have sadness when they see their parents are dying. They cry, or they ask them not to pass away. They hold on to them. So if this a big noise is going to happen, then generally what we do is we recommend this family not to present in this dying person's environment. That this person be in a quiet, peaceful environment. This is not the time to cry. This is not the time that having attachments, thinking that somebody leaving, or the person who thinks I'm leaving behind somebody. This is going to happen. Non-attachment has been the practice of Buddha Dharma. At this point, of course, non-attachment. When time comes, then non-attachment. So, peaceful environment. Who is going to present here with this person, dying person, to the best scenario, his or her teacher? If not, her Dharma brother or sisters. And then with them, they may talk about how wonderful life they lived, this dying person lived. And when the dissolution takes place, this person remind dissolution taking place and encourage to recognize this. This is the moment to release your attachments, to turn your mind inward. This is the moment to pray to your guru, to your deity, have devotions. This is the moment. If a Dzogchen practitioners, then just for Dzogchen practitioners, then there's nothing very much to do. But it's still, I say that due to illness, some diseases are quite, intense, painful ones. So if this is the case, somehow it's important to remind in another word, just say, don't be distracted. That's it. This practitioner simply abide in the nature of mind. So that's it. Nothing much to do. He or she would recognize as dissolutions take place, as the ground luminosity appears. So all this life, I've been practicing this. Now at this stage, this ground luminosity that always trying to meditate, always try to recognize is fully revealed to you without any obscurations. All obscurations peel away. Remember, as death, dying process takes place, peel away everything. Like the brilliant sun shining in this infinite space without any cloud, fog, mist, clearly shining. So this master, this practitioner simply recognize that's the best scenario. Now these regular practitioners who do not really have this confidence, so these people, these practitioner may even ask to do power practice, transference of consciousness to their teacher or to their Dharma brothers or sisters. They do power practice. As the outer dissolution is completed, the completion is the elements, the air elements dissolve, breathing stops, that moment, power practice, like that. And then that's pretty much do other prayers. And traditionally we put Tagdol called the Shito mandala, basically mandala, that some of you may have seen the mandala, which is all the Shito 100 deities mantra all around on the heart or on face, like that. Then leave it there until the next day, not touching. So that's how things happen usually. Now here for us, if there is a time that one encounter an opportunity to help let's say just a regular person, not necessarily Dharma practitioner, just a regular person, if there's a chance to help this person who do not have a caretaker. So if one can help dying person, that is a great thing to do. To this dying person, this moment is most important moment, right? Most important moment. And for practitioners also, helping dying person is considered is very important practice. Because when you really see the dying person, then you really know what it means, human life, what it means, impermanent nature of human life. Something that we don't really talk, time to time thing, but actually you experience, first-hand experience. And what it means to be alive. What is the meaning of life? When you want to see the dying person, when all these things happen, compassion. So if there is a chance to help dying person, it's a great thing, and one should really help. Now, in order to help, of course, first and foremost in our Buddhist practice, do not forget that mind is very important. Our motivation is very important. Speaking of motivation, what kind of motivation one should have? Of course, compassion. The genuinely feel compassion to this dying person. In order to generate compassion, what we talk about? We talk about, wanting happiness and do not wish to be, not to have any sufferings. Same, equal, equality, sense of equality. Same, the dying person wants the same. So with that, immeasurable equanimity, one try to think and then try to generate this genuine compassion. In other cases, we talk about exchange. What if I am the dying person that's now going through this experience? So with these methods, one be able to generate a genuine sense of compassion to this dying person. Genuine sense. And if this happens, then naturally helping with sincerity will happen. If that happens, then you are doing wonderful things. Not just you want to look good or some kind of wandering out of your curiosity. Yes, it is, a great experience actually, to witness this transition taking place. But most importantly, with genuine heart, full of compassion and help. Now helping, two things matters, right? Mostly use our common sense. Environment matters. And sense of peace in the dying person's mind. Peaceful mind matters, big matters. So what can be done? A peaceful environment. Again, as I said, in the East, lots of family gathering, crying, those things, that's not peaceful environment. Some cases in the hospital, all machines connected. This may not be also peaceful environment. Yes, in some cases necessary. In other cases, in old age, dying is expected. Then these things, the last moment kind of treatment may not be necessary. So this is something to think about. Peaceful environment without much noise, dignified, environment. Create, help to create, whatever that may be, depend on circumstances, depend on time and place. And then mind. The dying person is said to be very much in a, mind is in a very turmoil state. So even she or he may be disturbed, even say bad words. But that's okay, you are here to help. You know. For this person, to this end, he or she should not be feeling something that regret or something that has been done in the past that disturbs this person's mind. So in this case, what we go to do, something, talk about what has been the good part, how wonderful life he or she have been, the best part of her or his life. Talk about, praise, say nice things. Basically, whatever it takes to bring a peace to this person's mind. In modern world, even some unfinished business, so helping those will be great, right? Like that. And one thing that we have to keep in mind is some people have a good motivation, but that somehow we tend to impose that good idea to that person. We don't need that. This person's last moment of his or her life. So why should you, even you think it's your Dharma practitioner, you are advising, you now do this, do that. If this person's not ready to receive those, we even end up more disturbing them. So somehow we have to be careful, use our common sense. If this person's open enough, then that's a great thing. Long time ago, or not long time ago, two something years ago, I had a neighbor here. She was in old age, and she was going to hospice. Basically, she was ready to leave, ready to die. So she asked me to come to her place and talk about a Buddhist approach to death. And then we make an appointment, and I went there one day. And she put some tea out, and we sat together. And then we discussed. She was a wonderful lady, very open-minded. She's open to anything, she says. And we discuss. And I said to her, one of the things that in Buddhist teachings we talk about is at the moment of death, when time is approaching, no attachment, to one's possessions, to one's relatives, loving ones. And she said to me, well, I don't have any attachments. I have only one son. He's grown up. He's busy taking care of his own family. We don't spend much time together anyway. And she said her body, because of her sickness, is very difficult to live anymore, to be alive is difficult. She's ready to go. She's ready to leave. Like that kind of person, very open. She's ready to anything I want to say. So in this case, I felt like, yeah, I can say things to her, do this, do that. Otherwise, even though from our good motivation, we try to impose our ideas. Oh, Buddhist said this, you visualize this, you be devotions, I will do some prayers, making noises, then they may not be good. So anyway, use our own common sense and whatever way we can, peaceful environment and peaceful mind to create whatever way one can. It's a great thing to do. So that's what I want to share. And then now, helping Dharma devoted, a practitioner for transitioning. This, I want to say, basically same thing. Of course, peaceful environment, peaceful mind is most important. And then remind to him or her as dissolutions takes place, not to be distracted. And if for practice is necessary and do at the moment, and after that, do some prayers. If not for practice, do some other prayers like Vajrasattva mantra recitations. We all know that. Vajrasattva 100-syllable mantra is the essence of 100 deities. For purifications, all this is a very important one. So recite with our genuine heart. Long mantra or short mantra, Om Sato Hum, recite. As well as aspiration prayers. Aspiration prayers, like Kundu Zampo aspiration prayers that we are going to recite today at the end of this session. Very important. Kundu Zampo aspiration prayer is we call liberation upon hearing. So this prayer itself has a powerful blessings, very, very powerful blessings, very important. And some other aspiration prayer, whatever one thing or feel necessary, like the Amitabha Buddha prayer we do. This one. Amitabha Buddha prayers. And Guru Rinpoche prayers. Particularly to be born in the Kapakala mountain. Those prayers very important. And at least recite mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum, Chinese mantra at all time. So this is very important. And let the person peacefully, help this person, this practitioner, transit peacefully. That's the most important. And of course, as a practitioners, in this case, Bardo dying case, the instruction is no attachment. That attachment, in fact, this is our practice. Practitioners having possessions, having everything is okay. Not okay is our attachment to these possessions. Anything to our body, to our phenomenon, whatever we have. If there are so much attachments, then no good. So always in the practice of Buddha Dharma, reducing our attachment, basically all affective emotions, the desire, the anger, the hatred, the jealousy, the greed, this is our practice. So always, this is our practice, and particularly non-attachment, is very important at the moment of death. So that way, one peacefully transit. That way, one's mind is peace. When mind is at peace, when outer dissolution takes place, one is totally aware of. And this is the moment to do our prayers. If there's a guru, you have devotions, pray. Idam deity, pray. And this is the time to generate again bodhicitta mind. Now, this death is approaching, how to enter and attain the Dharmakaya state when ground luminosity arises. So, peacefully, very peacefully, one is totally aware of outer inner dissolutions take place and will be on the right path. And then when ground luminosity arises, if one's practice has been good, if one have pretty good experience in meditations, so I don't have any doubt that one do not recognize when this ground luminosity appears without any obscurations revealed. And to that point, the practitioners enter to the Dharmakaya states like the child entering its loving mother's lap. So, awakening in the Dharmakaya states. So that's the general instructions that we usually discuss at the time of death in the context of Bardo, of dying. Okay. Now we are on page 4. Now when the Bardo of Dharmata is dawning upon me, I will abandon all fears and terror, recognizing whatever appears as the natural display of awareness. I will know it to be the way this Bardo unfolds. So now let us discuss the fifth Bardo, Bardo of Dharmata. Okay? This fifth Bardo, some beings may not experience this Bardo because if our wonderful practitioners, masters, they attain liberations at the Bardo of dying after dissolutions takes place, awakening in the Bardo of, in the Bardo of dying, awakening in Dhammakaya mind, there's no Bardo from their own. Rest Bardo is not manifest. Like, you can read lots of biographies in which lamas, before they are passing, before they are passing away, they already have the pure perceptions of all the kinis arriving to receive them. And to these great beings, there is no Bardo beyond that, already awakening, or already, should say, going to pure lands. There's no Bardos. Even just Amitabha Buddha, devoted, people, when they pray to Amitabha Buddha at the moment of death, the Amitabha Buddha and two bodhisattvas, they appear at the moment of death and they immediately experience the pure perceptions, and then they go immediately to Amitabha Buddha, Sukhavati, pure land. There is no Bardo for these people. And also, some very powerful negative, who has lots of karmas accumulated, bad karma accumulated, very sinful people. If this is the case, again, at the Bardo of dying, they may experience already the hell experience. They may immediately experience the hell realm and go immediately to experience the hell realm. Again, no Bardo from there. This Bardo do not experience like that. That's how in the Bardo teachings clearly explained. Now, most people, not that, wonderful practitioners, at the same time, not that, sinful person, a lot of in the middle ones. So regular people go through these next two Bardos, Bardo of Dharmata and Bardo of becoming. So this Bardo of Dharmata, in Tibetan, Shunichi Bardo. In this Bardo, now one experience this inherent purity, Buddha mind, it's radiant, the luminosity, as we always talk about. The empty essence, Dhammakaya, luminous, it's radiant as Sambhogakaya. So this person now experience this nature mind's radiance, Dhammakaya mind's natural radiance, Sambhogakaya experience, this person experience. So this experiencing of sound, light, different deities, one experience are called droning or Bardo of Dharmata. So that's it. Before we think about Bardo of Dharmata, first thing we should know is these deities we are going to explain is not something that something outside, that's most important, nothing outside appearing, but nature's, Buddha nature's sub-radiance as the deity's experience. This Bardo being experienced here because in the dissolution, outer dissolution, inner dissolution taking place, all the layers that which obscure these innate purities slowly just peel away, step by step. To the very end, true nature of mind, this innate purity, Buddha mind is completely revealed. And if recognized, that's it. There's no next Bardo, awakening in the Dhammakaya mind. If not recognized, regular people are said to be just feeling unconscious, not aware of anything. Remain for a while there. And then slowly, then its nature, its radiance is now manifests into this Buddha pure phenomena manifests. See, one thing that we have to know is that the great masters, when they have pure perceptions, and in their pure perception receive Buddha's blessings, all these kind of great pure perceptions. Why they are having this pure perception is because it's not that outside Buddha from somewhere came to visit them, but simply because of their meditations, their obscurations which obscure their innate purity is peel away. They come to their innate purity, the Buddha nature within. They recognize this. Like the regular, this Bardo of dying takes place, dissolution takes place, this innate purity, Buddha mind is revealed completely like the sun without any obscuration. Like that, these masters, they have this. They come to the realizations of their true nature. So when this comes, when they have this realization, then pure phenomena appears to them. This very place is pure land. This sound is pure sound of the Buddha. All the Buddha realms manifest. Because in their practice, in their realization, the obscuration which obscure their innate Buddha mind is purified. So therefore, they experience this. In order that to happen, see, in our visualization practice, that's what we do, to have these pure perceptions, to come to realizations of our true nature, sadhana practice, all these visualization practices. And also in our in our lineage, one practice called toggle practice. In toggle practice, 3 ways of sitting, 3 ways of gazing, using this method, directly, seeing or directly looking at the very nature of our mind, and with that, having all this wisdom of seeing these pure perceptions in toggle practice, all this happens. Now, basically, what I'm here trying to say to you is that these Bardo beings see these Buddhas manifest into them because the obscuration is not there with a natural process. Why masters have this pure perception is in their practice, in their meditation practice, they purify these obscurations. They come directly to their true natures without any temporarily arising this obscuring phenomena. When that happened to these masters, then all these pure perceptions appears, pure visions appears. So now these pure visions, these Buddha phenomena appearing is not something outside coming to you, but rather your true nature. Your true nature, Dhammakaya minds, its radiance, its luminosities, its clarities now, when there's no obscurations, then manifest into these different Buddhas, pure phenomena. So that's what happens. So here is how in the Bardo Dharmata teaching explains appearing this, 180 Buddhas. Everything starts from occurs, at the end of dissolutions, brilliant sunlight, this ground luminosity appears and remain there, not recognizing it. Now it's radiance and appearing into different Buddha forms. When this starts, it is said that first, light, pure, radiance, 5 colors, sounds appears. And slowly, when one do not recognize, still don't recognize, these lights now become a sphere of light, round lights. And then from these round lights, then slowly Buddha appears. Now, what Buddhas? Here we are talking about 100 Buddhas, 100 deities. 100 Buddhas, before we talk about, first we have to know that these are the, self-radiance of Dhammakaya mind, no other than this Dhammakaya mind. This Dhammakaya mind, in order one to awakening, this different manifestation arises. So in Vajrayana teachings, you always keep this in mind. We say that pure perceptions, pure view is most important. While in ordinary, time, even though one do not recognize what we have here is a body, this physical body is composition of 5 elements. These 5 elements in Vajrayana teaching actually talks about this is not ordinary. In fact, if one recognize these 5 elements, the very thing that compose it of our, that which makes up our body, these 5 elements are 5 dakinis, 5 Buddha, 5 consort that which appears to you in Bardo Dhammata. Pure, even though one do not recognize it. And then composite of these 5 elements, and then we talk about 5 aggregates. Aggregates of form, aggregates of feeling, aggregates of perception, aggregates of formation, aggregates of consciousness. These are called 5 aggregates. 5 aggregates are, in fact, 5 Buddhas. 5 Buddhas. 5 Buddhas like Buddha Berocana, Ranasambhava, Amitabha Buddha, Amoghasiddhi, Akshoba, like that. 5 Buddha families. 5 Buddhas. 5, aggregates, 5 Buddhas. Likewise, now within us, this main affective emotions, 3 poisons plus 3 poisons: delusion, anger, desire, 3, and then pride and envy. 5 are the main emotions that ordinary people experience. So these 5 affective emotions are, in fact, if one relate to them with the Vajrayana teachings method, these 5 affective emotions nature is in fact 5 wisdoms. Wisdom of Dhammadhatu, mirror-like wisdom, wisdom of equality, all accomplishment wisdoms, all this, 5 wisdoms. For the time being, in the state of ordinary, we do not recognize it because too many obscurations, obscuring our Buddha mind as if the brilliant sun is temporarily covered by the clouds. At the same time, the Buddha is there. Regardless whether or not one recognizes these 5 elements as 5 dakinis, 5 aggregates as 5 Buddha, 5 affective emotions as 5 wisdom, these natures of these phenomena never have been other than the purity. Whatever in the ocean, the reflections may appear, different shape and colors, they are no other than the ocean itself. Likewise, in Vajrayana, view whatever appears. This impure phenomena one see is in fact not impure. If one be able to relate to them with this profound method, their true nature has been always Buddha and is Buddha. So to these teachings, as a Vajrayana practitioner, one at least have the profound acceptance confidence. In fact, this is the view, of Vajrayana. Pure perception is the very basic things in Vajrayana practice. Without that, and then Vajrayana practice effectively may not be able to take place. In Bardo of Dharmata, this Buddha, now no obscurations, appear nakedly, and then now all this regularly, what in ordinary state we do not recognize, is now manifests in its purity. And this is the Buddha, five Buddha family appearing. And first appears, we usually, in the teachings, first day, second day, third day, fifth day. First Buddha, Berochana, second Akshoba or Vajrasattva, and Ranasambhava, Amitabha Buddha, Amoghasiddhi, all appears. Each day, Buddha appears. And then, on the sixth day, all Buddha, peaceful Buddha, together appears, including the six Buddha of six realms appears together. And then on seventh day, we call Rinzingilhaso, all the Vidyadharas. Vidyadharas are pure manifestation of these habitual tendencies. This also appears on seventh day. And then now eighth day, from eighth day, again, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th day, all the wrathful Buddhas now appears. Until seventh day, all peaceful Buddhas appears. On eighth day, now wrathful Buddhas. Five Buddha family in a peaceful ones. Now, still one do not recognize. Now these peaceful Buddha turn into wrathful Buddhas because the innate quality of transformative, blessings, transformative power, because of this transformative power now change into, wrathful, because peaceful is obviously not working for this person, not recognizing, and now, peace, wrathful appears. The rest of the time, wrathful Buddhas appears. And basically all together, 100 deities, 100 Buddhas, 42 peaceful Buddhas, and then 58 wrathful Buddhas appears all together. First, one by one, and together, and one by one, and all together appears. So that's how in this part of Dharmata, when our innate purity is not obscured by these temporarily arising phenomena, so this innate purity is sub-radiant appear in the Buddha, pure Buddha realms, Buddha poems, like that. Now, in these teachings, it talks about how this Bardo being now react to, For most Vajrayana practitioners, there is a great possibility of awakening in this part of Dhammata, because our practice has to do with visualization of Buddhas in different forms. That's what we do. So when it actually appears, should be able to recognize. Not only we do our practice, but in day-to-day life, see in the Vajrayana setting, we all these tankas, all the Buddha images. If you ask one reason that why, Vajrayana, in the Vajrayana Buddhist tradition, so many tankas and then statues fill up the room or the temple, you cannot imagine if you go to a real, traditional Buddhist traditional temple, how many tankas painted, Buddha images painted on the walls and all the statues there. So all this to familiarize and to this pure perceptions, Vajrayana practitioners. That's what we do. What to do. So when this Bardo being have this experience, it is said that when the first Buddha appears in front of him, it appears like as if it's a part of, the Bardo beings. First Buddha, when it appears, appear in the environment of blue, pure blue color. Within this blue color, the Buddha Vairochana, white in color, with consort. That Buddha Vairochana, white in consort, appear as if from this Bardo being's heart, there's a bright, clear, bright, clear blue rays of light shining directly from Buddha Vairochana's heart to this Bardo being's heart. That's how Buddha appears. At the same time, it is said that because one have the karma of the God realms, to be born in God realm. So at the same time, along this light, there's another dull white light. Dull white light also shines, from the Buddha Vairochana's heart directly to the Bardo being's heart. So when this happens, what may happen is that Bardo being is rather feel, if recognize, there are, in the Bardo teaching, there are instructions telling this Bardo being, right now, this Buddha appearing to you, this Buddha is no other than your true nature. Now your true nature, Dhammakaya mind, its radiance is now appearing into the Buddha Vairochana. So recognize it. It's one's own, manifestations, no other than yourself. That's the instructions. In a way, see, all Dzogchen practice, the instruction is when you abide in the nature of your mind, whatever appears to your eyes, different forms, to your ear, different sound, to your, everything that appears is no other than your true nature. Like the reflection in the water is no other than water. So anything that appears is within this spacious mind, no other than the Dhammakaya mind. That's what the instruction is. So like that, similar instruction is given to these Bardo beings. This Buddha appears as the pure self-radiance of your pure Buddha mind appearing to you. Don't look at, don't view as outside Buddha appearing to you, but rather this is your true nature. The instructions like that. So the first Buddha appear like that, and then second day, Buddha in the east appear like that, and all Buddhas, different Buddhas appear, and Radpul Buddhas, all this appears. And this Bardo being may recognize one way or another possibility of awakening. As a Vajrayana practitioners, there's a big possibility of awakening. So, if one recognizes, in the Bardo teaching says that the moment one recognizes that this is no other than one's own display of self-radiance, then immediately this Bardo being dissolved into light, and that light dissolved into the heart of this Buddha. May it be Vairocana Buddha, or Amoghasiddhi Buddha, or Amitabha Buddha. This Bardo being dissolved into light, that light dissolved into the Buddha's heart, and then awakening in that Buddha, pure phenomena, pure realms. We talk about five, in the teaching, five pure lands. In the center, dense array, Tupokyu Pishinkam. In the east, manifest joy, pure realms, like that. So, east pure realm, south pure realm, west pure realm, it's Amitabha Buddha realms, north pure realms. So, in these pure realms, these Bardo beings awaken to this Buddha's pure land. If that do not happen, then next is then wrathful deities appearing. And when wrathful deities appearing, again there's a great opportunity, possibility of awakening to this understanding of now this Buddha appearing to oneself, which are no other than one's own manifestation. Then there may be awakening to this again in the Buddha's pure phenomena. So basically, the instruction is that all instruction in one. Just recognize this is your true nature, which is not obscured by temporarily arising. Your true nature is now manifest nakedly. When that happens, your true nature's sub-radiance is now appearing to this pure Buddha phenomena. Like the pure Buddha phenomena, pure perception, pure vision appearing to these great masters. When their Dhammakaya mind is not temporarily obscure, but when they get touched to this or realize this Dhammakaya mind, pure phenomena manifests. So that's how, Bardo Dharmata teachings is all about. Okay. Any questions?
You can put them in the chat if people have questions. Or Juan has raised his hand. Okay, go ahead, Juan. You can unmute yourself.
Hi, Rinpoche. Thank you for these detailed teachings. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. Maybe there is a text that we can study a little bit, keep studying this in more detail, like the Bardo of Dharmata and the families where there's a description or anything that you can recommend in that regard that we can read?
This Bardo, particularly this Bardo I explained, is of course based on this Guru Rinpoche's teachings, Bardo descriptions. So this Bardo text, known as Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is one of the first translation of the Tibetan book in the West, that is available in many translations, not only one, in many translations. Whatever you feel, you comfortable or you like to read, there are many different translations, I think. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, mostly titled like that. And if you get the book, in this, how in Bardo of Dharmata, manifesting these different 100 deities are in very much detail that you can read.
Thank you. It's so precious to hear this teaching from you. I was just like trying to really let it into my heart. So when this happens, I can remember your voice describing this.
Thank you.
Sure, will have a lot really good results. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you explain a bit about the dull white light that comes out along with the bright, clear blue rays of light the Vairocana manifests?
Yes. The whole idea here, made appearing pure Buddha phenomena or ordinary, this 6, actually these dull lights are basically, self-manifestation or self-manifestation. I mean, the Buddha phenomena is pure self-radiance. So at the same time, this one have such habit of, in the 6 realms, karmas. So with these karmas, the different lights appears that if one is attached to, instead of this bright light, if one attach or more comfortable to this dull light, instead of going for the white light, but brighter light, if one go for the dull light, and then in this case, white dull light is the path that lead to be born in the God realms. So one may go to the God realms, being born in God realms, like that. So important thing is, of course, when this Buddha appears to oneself, then in the teaching says that now is the time to pray, supplicate to this Buddha just appearing to oneself, one supplicate, pray, and have devotions in this mind state, then your body dissolve into light, light dissolve through the light, that bright light from the Buddha Vairocana's heart to one's heart, dissolve through that, then awakening in that particular Buddha, pure Buddha realms, like that. So as far as light is concerned, talk about dull white light for the God phenomena through which one born in God realms, and then a red light, dull red light to the demigod realms, and dull blue light to the human realms, and then green light to the animal realms, yellow light to the Holy Ghost realm, and a smoky dark light to the hell realms. And when these Buddha all together appears on the sixth day, all this light, also bright lights shining. At the same time, these 6 different realms light are shining. And at that time, when that happened, if one chose this dull light, one may be end up being born in these 6 different realms.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have another question about the Bardo of meditation. This is a question about meditation from Bob and Mariana. There are many who struggle with being able to do meditation. What do you feel would be beneficial for all during this time of distraction to begin calming the mind and start the process of turning to the 2 stages of generation and perfection? So
the question is, what can we do in this time?
yeah, when in this time when when people are feeling very distracted, and how practices to start to calm the mind and to be able to do meditation and enter the Bardo of meditation in this life.
Well, life is quite, sometimes one find quite challenging. There's some good times, there's some bad times. I guess that's the way it is. In samsara, some days are good, some days are bad, some days are okay. That's the way how things are. Now, as a good practitioner, then we don't have this, we have to find a ways, both circumstances, good circumstances or bad circumstances, turn into something good. On a regular, in a regular sense, when bad circumstances happen, and that throw the person into depression or sadness, to the wrong directions, sufferings. Good circumstances happen, again, that may another kind of emotions, even though it may be relate some pleasure, happiness, but again, some other form of affective emotions. So as a good practitioners, regardless of what happened, as we talk about everything turn into the path of practice. So that's what we try. For good practitioners, bad circumstances are not, when face bad circumstances, there we get the opportunity to put these Dharma teachings into practice. Here we are talking about even death and dying. Even in the Bardo state, there's a possibility of awakening. There's a practice. And of course, in waking state, in our day-to-day lives, when we face these difficulties, of course, somehow we try to, put this into practice, or at least, try not to affect us, and try to use whatever, use for generating compassions. Here, when I hear about this, because of this pandemic, all these sufferings here and there, I know very much about India, when I hear all these, poor people, daily wagers, just go to work and bring food for the night home. So how they struggle, something unthinkable. So here, I try to, when I think about this, when I hear about this, I try to generate compassion. And this I try to think about my practice, do my prayer and dedicate. This inspires me to do more practice. These worldly things, when bad circumstances happens, this should be taken into usually when we talk about renunciations, not attached to worldly things in this world, all these phenomena appears, nothing to be attached, sense of renunciation. In order to generate genuine sense of renunciation, when we truly know the nature of samsara, the suffering nature of samsara, then one be able to generate genuinely this sense of renunciation. So basically, one try to put these bad circumstances, bad situation, when one hear, when one see, try to put into practice and inspire you to do more practice and dedicate your merit of your practice to these people is what we got to do.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any other questions appearing. Oh, here's one. If there is an opportunity for enlightenment with the Bardo of, I guess she means Dharmata, what happens to the karma you have generated in the lifetime?
Yes, it would.
She said Bardo of Dharma Dhatu. So, yeah, I'm not sure which Bardo,
Okay.
but in any case.
Okay, probably she meant Bardo of Dharmata.
Yeah.
Yes, whether or not one recognize this a part of Dharmata appearing, it would depend really on one's karma. You know, it would depend on one's karma. Of course, if very bad karma is accumulated, the sinful person, as I just mentioned, they will not even have this part of Dharmata experience. And regular, when they are ready, if there is karma, enough karma to be recognized, then one recognizes when these deities appears. One recognizes. If no karma, enough karma is there, these appearing will be simply terrifying, too bright light or big sound, you know, all this in this, you know, Guru Rinpoche's teaching says, lots of fears may be generated. So we could, you know, that individual is not ready to awaken to this. And this individual go to next Bardo becoming, which we're going to discuss tomorrow, will not recognize. If there is enough good karma in this individual, will recognize these pure, you know, manifestations are one's true nature. This Buddha mind's sub-radiance, no other than one's true nature. When you recognize in that way, this Buddha, again, you know, is no other than you outside there, but one's sub-nature, pure nature, so sub-radiance, and in that you will be awakening. So that, of course, depends on the karma. Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for more questions? Would you like, we have some other questions here. Dr. Kira West wants to know, will you be giving a POA empowerment and puja practice soon?
POA practice, yes. I wish I did last year. I really wish I did last year. I already have. I'm not sure if Mark is listening here or not. We already prepared the text for POA, and we were so ready. And then some schedule did not work out. We postponed, and we end up not doing last year. That I really wish one day we can do. And POA practice, yeah, as I said yesterday, Amitabha Buddha practice is just so simple. All you need is just devotions, So it's so simple, so effective. So I want to definitely do that one day. Also, I want to say that Shito practice is what we do in Pema Kö, you know, every month, every full moon, every month, once every month we do Shito practice. It takes all day. This Shito practice from Kamalingpa, this very lineage we do. So I grew up doing lots of Shito practice, and also about this part of Dharmata subject, 100 deities, you know. And I thought to do, you know, extensive teaching, introducing to this 100 deities last year, this year actually, yeah, this year. Karuna Jose, you know, we made a schedule in Santa Cruz. I suppose going there, we're doing teachings and practice, Shito practice, most importantly, practice. And then that again, because of the pandemic, did not happen. We postponed that, we're hoping maybe after a month or 2 months this would happen. We postponed this schedule, and again, that did not happen. But however, if all things go well, when this pandemic subsides, I would very much look forward to share with you the poor practice that that I did, which is a very simple practice, but very powerful and full of blessings. Poor practice, as well as Shito practice, and familiarizing oneself with this Shito practice and 100 deities. I look very much forward to this. 2 things to happen in the near future. Yeah.
Wonderful. Could either of them be done online?
It could be done, yeah, but so far I wasn't planning online. It was more of a physical together. But yeah, let me think about it. How can be done online if this situation continues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for considering.
Yeah.
Okay. We have another question here. Many gurus give up the illusion of possessions and do retreats in caves for years. What are the illusory aspects in the different realms of the Bardos?
Can you repeat that question again?
Many gurus give up the illusion of possessions and do retreats in caves for years.
Mm-hmm.
What are the illusory aspects in the different realms of the Bardos? So the illusory aspects. Bardo, I guess is the question.
What are the illusory?
Yeah, I guess the question is, are there illusory aspects to what we experience in the different Bardos? I guess is the question.
Bardo, see, if one do not recognize dream Bardo as dream, and then all, phenomena, illusions, all these delusions just continues. And then if there's no Bardo meditations, ordinary beings rather just engage in the illusory nature of the samsara, and with the, going through all these samsaric phenomena, clinging minds, all these things continues. So all these illusory delusions that continues. And therefore, these great practitioners who do not want to be stuck forever in this samsaric phenomena, so they give up and then go to cave like that. So here, point of Bardo teaching is basically to know Bardo of this life, Bardo of dream, what is Bardo of dream, and to know what the instructions there and what can be done, awakening this Bardo from this Bardo of dream.